Hi, in this video I want to implement an interstitial ad to an Android Studio project, or it's better to say a full screen ad. In this video I'm gonna implement Google SDK version 20.3.0 and I'm going to follow the AdMob instruction. Then we will see there is some small and common problem to load and showing the ad. Then I will make some modification to solve the problems. For saving the time, I already created a project in Android Studio. This project contains two activities, main activity and second activities. This is the layout of main activity. I put text view and I wrote main activity. Also, I put a button. The ID of the button is ID button. When we click here, it goes to the second activity. In second activity, I only put a text view and I wrote second activity to recognize it easily. This is the main activity Java. As you can see, I declared the button and I found it by ID. Then I set an on-click listener for the button. When we click on the button, this one, it's calling open second activity method, which is here. In this method, I'm using intent method to open second activity. Second activity is completely blank and I didn't write any code. If you want to see the app, it's like this. This is the main activity and this is the button. I click here, it goes to second activity. When I use this back key, it goes back to the main activity. And I want to implement the interstitial ad or full screen ad before it goes to second activity. So when I click here, the advertise should appear. By closing the advertise, it should go to second activity. Let's stop the project. I go to instruction. I go to get started. As you can see, the first step, we have to make sure we have Google and AdMob and central repositories in project level of build Gradle file. So I go to project level of build Gradle file. As you can see, we have Google and AdMob and central repositories in build script repositories and also all projects repositories, exactly like instruction. If for any reason one of them or both of them are missed, you should replace them manually and sync the project. Also, this JCenter repository will shut down soon, so we don't need it anymore and we can remove it. And I'm gonna sync the project. Then I have to add this implementation of the SDK to app level of build Gradle file dependencies. So I copy this implementation. I go to app level of build Gradle file, which is here. I open it. This is a dependency and I have to add it here. I prefer to add a comment like this, AdMob SDK, and I paste it here. And I sync the project to download and implement this dependency and SDK. So I close it. I close this project level of build Gradle file too, and I go back to instruction. Here, as you can see, I have to add this metadata tag to the AndroidManifest file between application tags. And as you know, we always should use the sample app ID and add unit ID to test and debugging the app. So I copy this sample AdMob app ID. I'm coming here, click on the icon, and I paste it here. Press enter. Then I copy this tag, metadata tag, Then I go back to Android Studio, AndroidManifest file, I open it, and between these two application tag, I have to paste it. So I'm coming here at the bottom and I paste it here like this. Also, I prefer to copy this one to the string file, so then I can replace it easily with the real app unit ID. So I'm coming here, I will create a new string, I will call it app ID, simple, like this, and then I will copy and paste it here, like this. Then instead of using a string here, I'm just typing @ string app ID, like this. If you want to see if you want to see the app ID here, you can right click on it, go to the folding, and click on expand level, like this. Then you can see the app unit code here. However, if you click it, it goes to the code again. But it's a good practice to see the original text here instead of code. Okay, also don't forget to add user permission for the internet, like this. And it's suggesting to set the hardware accelerator to true to show the video ads correctly. So I'm coming to the application tag, and here I'm just typing hardware accelerated and I set it to true, like this. So we're done here. I close it. I go back to the instruction. Now it's time to initialize the AdMob SDK. As you can see, we should copy and paste these lines to the main activity on create method. So I go to the main activity on create method, maybe somewhere here after declaration the button, I will paste it here. Then as you can see, we get some error because we should add the required classes. So I click here and using Alt and Enter, like this, to import the required classes. Like this. Also, we have a suggestion here, that's why it's highlighted. So to remove this highlighted part, we should add not null, like this. Then you will see the suggestion will go away. Okay, I go back to the instruction and I click here on interstitial instruction. Again, for testing the interstitial ad, we have to use the sample ad unit ID. So I will use this sample ad unit. So I copy it. I go to the string, which is here. I will create another string, interstitial ad unit. I will call it like this, and I paste it here. I go back to instruction. Now we have to declare an interstitial ad. So I copy this line and I will paste it in main activity class. I go back to the Android Studio, main activity. This is the main activity class, and I paste it here. Also, I have to add the required classes. I'm using Alt and Enter to add the required classes. I go back to the instruction. Then I have to create an ad request and load the interstitial ad. So first of all, I prefer to create another method here. So the best place to load and create an ad request is here. After the SDK is initialized completely and successfully, so I'm coming here. I will type load full screen ad, something like this. Then to create this method, I'm using Alt and Enter again, and I create this method in main activity class like this. Then I will copy and paste all these lines into load full screen ad method, which I just created. Also, instead of this ad unit, I'm gonna use this string value which I created. So I'm coming here to the main activity. I remove this one. I will type get string, and here I can type r.string.interstitial ad unit. And as I told you, to see the original code, you can just right click here, go to the folding, expanding to level 1. Then you will see the original code here. Okay. As you can see, we have some red parts which they are error, and I have to fix this error. So I'm using again Alt and Enter to import the required classes. Alt and Enter. Also here. Here. So here we need a tag. We can create a tag here in main activity class. To create a tag, I will type private final string. It's gonna be tag, of course, and it's gonna be my app. So as you can see, we have no error anymore. I also remove these comments. I don't need them. Like this. Then it's time to set the full screen content callback. The best place to set the callback is gonna be here, unloaded. After we make sure the ad loaded successfully. So I'm coming here after the ad loaded, and I paste it here. As you can see, we have some error again. We have to import the required classes. I'm using Alt and Enter. Alt and Enter. Like this. Also here, to remove this suggestion, I have to add at not null like this. Also, I will modify these tags like this and remove these comments. Okay, very good. So we have three methods. This method on add dismiss full screen, it means when the user closing the advertise, this method will be called. This method on add failed to show full screen content will be called when some error will happening and the ad will not come up. And this method will be called as soon as the advertise will come to the screen and started to show. This method is very important, and we use this method to open the second activity. So when user watch the advertise and click on the X icon in the top corner of the advertise, this method will be called, and we will call open second activity to go to the second activity immediately. So I just typing open second activity like this. Okay, very good. I go back to the instruction and it's time to show the advertise. So I copy these lines. I go back to the Android Studio. I go back to onClick listener of the button, and here in onClick method I will paste the codes. Here I have to change this my activity to main activity like this. This is gonna be our activity, and also I will put this calling method here. Good. So if the interstitial ad is not null and is loaded, it will show the interstitial ad. Otherwise, it will open the second activity. And if it show the advertise, the callback will be set, and as soon as user close the advertise, this method will be called and it will goes to second activity. Very good. I also prefer to add another log here. Log.d and the message gonna be on create called like this. So we can see when this method will be called. Good. Now let's run the app. To see the logs, I'm coming here to logcat, and here I will change the tag. My tag is my app, so I copy this one and paste it here. So I can see the logs here. Okay, as you can see, we got an error. So let's see what it is. Okay, there is a link here. Okay, I have to copy and paste this multiDexEnable true to default configuration. So I'm coming to the app level of build Gradle file, and this is the default configuration. I will paste it here. Sync the project. Good, and see if it's running or no. Okay, very good. This is our app. As you can see, this is the first log we get. The onCreate method is called, and this is our app. The ad is loaded, and if I click here, it should show the advertise. So let's click on it. This is the test ad, and it's full screen. As you can see, the ad was shown. So as soon as this ad appears here, this method is called. So you can put some code if it's required when the ad is appear to the screen. As soon as I close this one, on add dismiss full screen method should call, and then it should open the second activity. Let's try it. Yes, this is second activity. I go back to the main activity and I'm using this back button. I go to second activity. As you can see, in this time, onCreate method didn't call again. That's why it's not able to load another advertise. So if I click here, there is no advertise to show, and it go to second activity. Go back again, no any ad. This is one of the common problem which they asking too much in my channel. So I want to fix this problem here. So I stop the project. I'm coming to the bottom of main activity class. Here I will add another new method on resume like this. Also, I prefer to add a log here, log.d. So the tag gonna be tag, and the message gonna be on resume called like this. Then, instead of initializing the AdMob SDK into onCreate method, I prefer to initialize and load the advertise here into onResume method. So I cut all these lines for initializing and loading the advertise from the onCreate method, and I'm gonna paste it into onResume method like this. Now let's run the app and see how it works. I remove all these previous logs. As you can see, onCreate method and onResume method both are called here, and it loaded an advertise. So if I click here, it shows the advertise. I close it, it goes to second activity. Then I use this back button, it goes to main activity, onResume method will call again, and it will load another advertise. So if I click here again, it will show another advertise. And it will happen again and again. Every time I go to the main activity, it will load an advertise. Perfect. Let's stop it. Another things I want to show. If you want to test the full screen ad with a video ad, you should come to the AdMob instruction to enabling testing ads here. I click here. As you can see, we have some ad unit, sample ad unit IDs. So instead of using interstitial unit ID, I can use interstitial video ad unit ID. So I copy this one. I go to the string file, and instead of this ad unit, I'm using the video ad unit. So let's run the app again and see if is it showing a video ad or it still is a picture. Okay, this is our app. I'm waiting for loading the advertise. It's loaded. I click here. It should show a video this time. Okay, this is supposed to be a video. As you can see, this is a video. Also, there is a mute button here. And as soon as user closes the advertise, it goes to second activity, like this. I go back. It's loading another one. Let's try again. Another video ad. Perfect. I close this one. Stop the project. Now, I would like to show the advertise after every 2 clicks or maybe every 3 clicks. Not every time user click on the button. So I'm coming here. In the beginning, I will create a new variable. It's gonna be integer. So private integer, I will call it counter, like this. Then I will add another condition here. If an interstitial is not null, and like this, if counter divide by 3, the rest gonna be 0. So like this, every 3 clicks is showing one advertise. Or maybe I can put 2 to show the advertise every 2 clicks on the button. And what does it mean? It means if the counter, the number is here, divide by 2, the rest gonna be 0. If it's not 0, it goes to the second condition, which is opening the second activity. Also here, I have to increment the counter. So counter plus plus, like this. Also, I would like to show the counter here, so I will add another log here, log.d. The tag gonna be tag, and the message gonna be counter equal plus counter. So we can see the value of the counter in the look at part here. So let's run the app and see what we get. Okay, the app is loaded. Advertise is loaded. So the counter gonna be the 0. So if I click here, counter is 0. 0 divided by 2 gonna be 0. The rest gonna be the 0, and it's showing the advertise. I close it. Go to second activity. Go back. Loading another ad. Like this. I click here. This time the counter gonna be 1. 1 divided by 2. The rest is not gonna be 0. So it's going directly to open activity method, and it's not showing the advertise. Let's click it. Go to second activity. I go back. As you can see, the counter was 1. And now counter is 2. 2 divided by 2 gonna be 1, and the rest gonna be 0. So again, it should show the advertise. So I click here. You can see the advertise. But it's still some problem. As you can see, every time I click on the button, the counter value is incrementing by 1. But if I rotate the device like this, and I click here, the counter will restart and go to the 0 again. And I have to fix this problem too. So I stop the project. To fix this problem, I have to add another method into main activity class. This method gonna be on save instant state. I'm using this private one, not the public one, like this. And here in out state, I can save the counter value and regenerate it every time on create method is calling, or we rotate the device. So here I'm typing out state dot put integer. I have to create a key. I will just write counter like this. The value gonna be the counter. So the counter will be saved into out state. Then I'm coming here into onCreate method. At the bottom, I'm writing if. I'm using this method, save instant state. If save instant state is not null, like this, it means is if already something's placed into unsafe instant state, then we can write counter is equivalent but by save instant state dot get integer. Then we have to place the exact key we created here. So it's gonna be mcounter. I copy it and paste it here. I also can set a default value. It's optional, but I prefer to set it to 0. I will use Alt Control L to rearrange the codes. And now let's see, is it working or no? I will remove the log, run the app. Okay, this is the app. The ad is loaded. I click here. It's showing the advertise. I close it. As you can see, the counter was 0. I go back to the main activity. Another advertise loaded. I click here. Now this time counter is 1. I go back. Now I rotate the device again. This time this counter should continue and it should not restart. So I click here. As you can see, the counter is 2 and it's not restarted again. And it showed and shown the advertise. So I close it, rotate the device again, go back, advertise is loaded, open, and counter is 3. Okay, I will stop the project. This is the method to show the advertise every 2 clicks. If you want to change this number, for example, every 3 clicks, you can put here 3 or 5 or whatever you want. Also, it's good to load another advertise if something's happened and it's failed to load. So here in on failed to load, I can use a countdown timer. So I just type countdown timer, or maybe new countdown timer like this. Then I have to add and implement the methods like this. Here I have to put 2 values. One of them is gonna be the time I have to wait, for example 10 seconds, so it's gonna be 10,000 milliseconds, and I need the countdown by every second, so it's gonna be 1000 milliseconds. So here I can add a log .d, tag gonna be tag, and the message gonna be second, and here I can add this meal is until finish and divide it by 1000, so I can see the time. And also here I can call load full screen ad, load full screen ad like this, and also I need to start the timer here. I'm using Ctrl Alt and L to rearrange the code. Also I will add another log here, log.d tag, and the message gonna be reloading ad. So let's test this one. I will switch off the internet to see what's happening, and I'm running the app. Okay, this is the app. There is no internet, so it's failed to load the ad. As you can see, the countdown timer is counting the time and is reloading the ad. Again, there is no internet, and it's failed to load ad again. As soon as I open the internet, I have to wait for the countdown timer, and you can see how it's loading a new ad. Reloading the ad. This time there is internet, is connected to network, and is loading an advertise. Like this. Okay, and just the last point, as you know, after you created your project in AdMob account, you should replace this app ID and add unit with the real one to make sure your app is showing the real ad to the user. Also, never use the real app unit ID and add unit ID for the testing and debugging is against the AdMob policy. Also, another point I have to mention, some users are asking me how we can show the advertise every, for example, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and it appears to the screen automatically while app is running. I have to tell you, this is completely against the AdMob policy, and it's very dangerous for your account and for your advertising and monetizing. So it can lead your account to suspending or closing or losing it permanently. So don't use any timer to show the advertise, and always try to read the AdMob policy and keep yourself updated about the policy. In the AdMob policy, it's suggesting to implement the advertise, the full screen advertise into breakpoint of your app. What is the breakpoint? It means between two activities, like what I did here. When I want to go from main activity to second activity, it's a breakpoint. Please, if you enjoyed this video and you like it and you found it useful, leave a like and subscribe for more video. Thank you and goodbye.